Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. In this video, I want to talk to you about a few stocks that are on my radar that I would recommend that you guys look at closer and do some research on because I think they have some interesting potential here within the next few months to even years. The first company goes by OKLO. I don't want to mispronounce it. It's something like Oklo, but I opened a small position a few days ago and I wanted to be fully transparent with you and show you exactly what my returns are on this. It's nothing big because I want to see exactly where this company is going. If you're unsure of what this company actually does, you can read about it right here. So basically they are taking care of reactors and clean energy, and they are based out of Santa Clara, California, and they look very promising. So just a little bit more information on the performance of this stock. We can actually see year to date they're up 156.15%, and they are starting to finally become profitable, but we'll talk about that in just a moment. In 1 year, it is a staggering 552.82%. And then if we look at the max time frame, we can see back here when they IPO'd for $10, it reminds me similar of the Palantir situation that is actually going on right now. It's something to look at close, and I would recommend looking at this company. So if you want to go ahead and look down at more of the key statistics, we can look at their market cap and where was their 52-week high and 52-week low. We can see we reached a 52-week high of 73.55 and that low at a measly $5.35. And of course, I always love to come look at the profitability of this company. So we can see the earnings are actually hitting on par, which is nice to see. Robinhood is not the best at this, so I'd actually recommend looking at like TradingView or even potentially Moomoo or Webull. They're really good at actually looking at financials and balance sheets, but they are starting to turn a profit, and that is why I am looking at them as a close stock for growth. Let's move on to my next company right now. The next company that I want to share with you guys, and I currently own a few shares. Again, I want to be transparent with you and show you exactly what I'm doing on my end. The company Rocket Lab here is based out of Long Beach, California, and they are the only direct competitor I see in my view to SpaceX. And we can see exactly how their performance has been doing. You know, that almost 40% year to date, that is tremendous, and I love to see that they are continuing to grow. And in the past year, 665.59%. They are finally becoming more profitable, so it's nice to see they're actually going somewhere as a company. It's strange that they actually don't have the past 5-year performance, but we can see on the 1 year they are doing very well. And then of course, if you don't know what the company does, I'll leave that about section right there and go ahead and pause the video if you want to read more about it. We can see where their 52-week high was right there at $38.26, and then their 52-week low at $4.20. Of course, I always like to see what the trends are, right? It's interesting to see that where the hedge funds and insiders are. And of course, profitability has been a mixed bag here, but they have overall been doing okay. Again, Robinhood is not the best, but we can see exactly where their earnings have been. So it's a company I'm watching very closely, and I would recommend looking at it closer because this is the only company that I have found that can compete directly with SpaceX. So keep it on your radar. Let's move on to the next stock right now. So here's the next company that I had been waiting to open a position in actually, and of course, I want you to see that total return. It's actually in the negative at the moment. So I felt like a cost basis of around $48 was reasonable. My target price was actually $49, so I got in just a little under my target price, but we can see it's been quite a volatile stock. Year to date, it's up 92.36%, but I do believe in this long term. I think it is a good bet on telehealth, and to understand exactly where this company goes, him and hers is, you know, it's volatile, but I think it's worth it. It reminds me similar to Tesla, but I think overall the company is good. I think the CEO is good, but we'll see how this company performs in the long term. We can see on the 5-year and of course max time frame when they IPO'd back in 2019. So I like them. I think they're good, but we'll see where they go in the future. And of course, if you want to know more about them, I'll leave that right there for you. Again, those key statistics, that 52-week high of $72.98 and that 52-week low of $13.47. It's something I like to look at. And of course, you know, what is Robinhood doing right there? And then hedge funds and of course, insiders. And then quickly, we can actually see where this amount was and the earnings per share. So I really like to look into this in detail because balance sheets are so important for these companies, and we can see they have actually been very profitable. So we'll see where they are on their next quarter. Keep that in mind, and we're going to go ahead and move on to the next stock right now. My next stock is actually AST SpaceMobile. If you are unfamiliar with it, they are actually building a space mobile broadband cellular network in space. So I think that is going to be amazing. We are finally going to be able to have coverage across the world. No more dead zones. I really like that. I think it's a company that is undervalued at the moment, and it is still unprofitable at the moment, but they are changing that with a lot of big deals with Verizon, AT&T, and some of the other big players as they are coming in. And you can go ahead and read a little bit more about what the company does right there. And then of course the price performance, we can see 117.27%. I am negative on this position, but by very little. I'm not playing with too much money at the moment because I'm just testing the waters of what I like about these companies, and I think they look interesting to invest in long term. Of course, they IPO'd back in 2019 for $9.77, and we can see where that price performance has been going ever since, but I think it's a solid buy. Do your research, of course. This is not financial advice, but I like to keep up with what is going on in these companies because they seem very promising. Of course, we can see their 52-week high was up at $54.05, and their 52-week low was at $10.98. And of course, we can look at the trends right here where people were going with it. And of course, last but not least, that earnings. So overall, I think the company is a promising company, and look into it more. It's something to watch on the horizon, and we can move on to the next stock right now. Now, my number one stock that I am currently watching is actually Robinhood. So Robinhood Markets, we are actually on the platform, and this has been a position that I have loved to hold, and I am so excited for this company. This company is revolutionizing the way we do our investing, and I'm so excited to see them perform well. Of course, you can see that staggering performance year to date, 142.97%. That is amazing, and I love to see it. Of course, I'll always let you guys read what this company is about in case you don't know it or you've stumbled across this video. And of course, key statistics, we can look at just how high we hit our 52-week high, and of course our 52-week low right there. But again, max, we IPO'd back in 2021 for 38, and it's been some time to watch this company really revolutionize how they do things. Let's come down to the bottom here and see what the trends were. Of course, Robinhood, and of course, insiders. And then of course, I always like to look at where their earnings are. They are a profitable company, and it's so nice to see them revolutionizing everything. So for me, it's a company I want to hold very, very long. I feel like it would be a $500 stock in the near future. And that is about it for now, guys. Let me know if you have any more questions or want to talk about a specific stock. Please drop it down in the comments below. And as always, thank you for supporting the channel, and I will see you in the next video.